All right, guys, welcome back to the Crypto Chronicle. It's one of our favorite times when we get to interview one of our partners. Blake, I think we did a video around about a year ago now.
Yeah, roughly about then. It was a good video back then.
Oh, it was. I was watching it just before we jumped into this, and a lot's changed since then, and we'll definitely go through it all in the podcast. But you and I both were overseas for a bit recently for some crypto events. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Token 2049?
Yeah, 100%. So Token 2049, I think from all the events that I've gone to this year, and it's the fourth, I think the vibe was very different. And it might be just as, the rate cuts came through from the US and everything was sort of mounting up. But definitely a lot of hype there. Singapore's a great country for crypto in general and finance and everything like that. It was the food was amazing. The events were great. The side events were, and even the main event was huge with so many stores out, lots of protocols I'd never heard of and set up. So
It makes us feel a
definitely the
bit
market
small
is.
in Australia, doesn't it? When you get over there and there's so much going on with crypto. It's just like it's another world, but it's nice at the same time. Like I loved when I was in Nashville. Similar to what you're saying, like Donald Trump was speaking about it, like the first time we've really heard politicians talking about crypto, and it was like, wow, like it's come so far since we started in crypto so many years ago.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And like, yeah, what a time to be there while Trump's speaking. I think it does invigorate you to understand that this world market is growing at such a rapid rate that Australia is just a little part of it. But I'm seeing so many Australians over at these events. So great to see the representation and that we're keen about it over here.
Any chance for us Australians to travel, we'll get over to any event overseas. I said to yourself, I wanted to come to 2049, but obviously we just went to the Nashville one, so you got to rein it in somewhere. But I suppose what you were saying at the start, interest rates just dropped 50 basis points. You and I were talking about it in the pre-podcast. China, 100, just a casual 140 billion coming into circulation. It's hard not to get pretty frothy right now. We're coming into October. What are your thoughts on the market? Are we going to go through like we always do every cycle, or are you still a bit tentative? What are we thinking?
Oh man, like look, I'm looking at that. Look, we just had the biggest close for Bitcoin in September
Yeah.
on history. I think it was 7 or something%. But typically, after we get a green month, we typically follow with 3 more green months. Actually, there's never been a time that we haven't followed with that, and I think that's a bit of data that I'm looking at. The other thing too is we're right on the right time for the halving where it changes. Like to me, like every light is green for this market to take off. My only opinion is when has BlackRock accumulated enough?
Yeah.
And they'll probably never have accumulated enough, but when are they like, because they're stacking their position. So, like I said, every light is green, and you're looking at them stack, and you're going, like, are they going to want to keep it down a little bit longer to get a little bit more? But then I think we're just absolutely going to break out from this range.
That's it. I mean, like on that one with BlackRock and them, I kind of look at we have been through massive bull markets without these institutions before. Retail, according to the data, hasn't even showed up yet for this bull market, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think these guys, they're thinking 5, 10 years time. They're not thinking, similar to Michael Saylor. He just buys. He buys when he buys. You know what I mean? He's not really going, oh, this is the best time or whatever. So. I mean, hopefully, we see some green get past. I'm waiting for that 70k BTC level. I think that's when money starts flowing into alts and beautiful projects like yours at Equalizer. They're going to really start popping off, and they already have, to be honest. So we'll get into talking about that. Let's talk a bit about Equalizer. I'm going to post the previous podcast that we did about a year ago, but as you know, a year in crypto is like what 50 years in a normal life. So
Minimum.
a lot's changed since then. I don't think Scale was launched then on the base network. Maybe do you want to tap on what's changed in the past year? Give a little bit of an intro to Equalizer as well.
Yeah, so I think a lot's changed. We've had firstly, there was a few things that have occurred on Fantom initially that people might be aware of, where we had like the multi-chain issue and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I was talking to people the other day about it, and as bad as it is, like I'm the forever optimist, right? And I'm the perma bull. As bad as it is, we needed something like that to shake up the system. And what it did, it actually has given the hugest of entries for people to get into FTM. Without that, we wouldn't be in the spot we are today.
Yep.
And the other thing too, which is very evident that's occurred since then, is they've picked up their game. They've started to listen to the protocols on the network. They've started to make a lot of adjustments, and the output of work, marketing, and ideas coming out of that, let's call it a factory over there for Sonic Labs, is at the highest I've ever seen. Like, I don't have time to concentrate on anything else in crypto except for what's coming out of there. So much is happening, right? So I think that, like, if we look at that as sort of the bottom of bottom for Equalizer after our call, we launched on base at that time. It was a little bit of an unsecure future. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen. No one did, right?
Sure.
But since then, I think the market has really returned with full force. Like things like understanding that we need to have that bridge into Ethereum. Another thing that came from that issue. So that's sort of a little bit of market roll up on what's happening on Sonic and the scale piece. But from Equalizer's perspective, we're just like capturing community at every step, right? So the way we look at crypto is, I think it's more than 50% community, and it's marketing, it's your tech, it's everything, right? But for me, the reason that people are involved is because there's such a community. That same community is educating. So we're continually growing and growing and growing our market share, our pie, our people that want to participate, the community, the knowledge. So it's such a different time to when we first spoke. But at the end of the day, I just see us as a liquidity hub, and effectively the more liquidity that is pulled in to our system, which typically comes from a higher equal price or scale or whatever you want to look at there. Basically, the more liquidity we have, the more fees we have, the more it pushes the equal price, and the cycle just repeats. So the best thing about Equal, is that it effectively is its own little ecosystem that feeds off the amount of liquidity. And if we can get more liquidity, we get more fees. Equal seems to trend with that.
No, and you really nailed it there. Like, I think some projects, they focus too much on the marketing. Some projects, they focus way too much on the development, and they never really, capture the TVL and volume into the project that they need. But that's definitely, from my outsider perspective, what I've loved about Equal. Like, your platform works, you know what I mean? There's some platform you go into and, the developers haven't spent enough time making it easy to use. UI is great. The community is great. So ticking a lot of boxes there. And yeah, I'm super excited it's really nice what's going on with Sonic. I think it's been timed really well. It was meant to come out earlier in the year, but like, what a time for it to come out now when everyone's a little bit frothy and eyes are on the market. It's super, super exciting.
Actually, I wonder sometimes if it's all by design. Like, literally, historically the biggest quarter of the year, and hey, we're right at the end of it. So I think we're going to get real excited. And look, it's shown, like, people have pretty much been able to put their money in a month or so ago and double their money just off the back of the hype of what's happened with FTM token. Equal's gone up like 3 times. So we're seeing some big moves on that side of the eco.
It's been really nice to see, and yeah, I'm excited for Sonic to come out. I've been following along with the quests that are on Galaxy and things like that, and just picking into a few areas. But that does lead me on to one of my next questions. Sonic is going to release. What are the biggest areas that you think are going to come to the market? Is gaming going to be taking off? I know meme coins was kind of released on the Fantom Network, and congratulations on your Hoops token. When it first came out, I was like, I'm not sure about this meme stuff, and we've had chats in the back end, but I think we both agree, memes are great for the market. But maybe do you want to tap on that? What are your thoughts on memes within the ecosystem? Is it healthy for crypto, and how does it play into Equalizer?
Okay, so to unpack it a little bit, what do we expect to see on Sonic, like the gamify and stuff like that? I think we're going to see everything that can be applied to that high-speed network, right? So I'm a big proponent of DeFi, but I think GameFi, that sort of other utilities, DP and everything like that has a place, and they need a good home, a good network with secure, bridges across to Ethereum and things like that. So I think, like, to answer that topic, and I know that there's lots coming to Sonic, the BD team are going crazy there. There's like, everyone wants to talk to them. There's huge incentives for people to deploy on Sonic. So I think we go off with a boom, a Sonic boom, right? So I had to use it there, but like so from that perspective, I think like I can't even tell you exactly what we're going to see, but I think a lot of it will be centered around DeFi, and that's just typically how chains form anyway. And there's so many people that want to participate in that area.
Yeah, no.
As for memes, memes are effectively like marketing in a way, right? Like you mentioned I launched hoops. I didn't launch hoops. I grabbed the bag of it and then sort of pushed it into the system. But more for that was around the whole meme competition and the marketing and everything like that. I think that I quickly saw that from the competition perspective, we need hype, right? We need something to go. And look, memes, like some last 2 months, some last 6 months, some last 10 years. Depends what community they get behind them. But what they do is they bring the new people in that then get sort of educated from those moves. What I love about Fantom is that typically the rug factor, let's call it the rug factor, is like much, much lower than any other chain, right? They have a great community of people behind them. And what I've seen is like, and myself, I've made money on meme coins. You know, let's call it gambling a little bit on meme coins. Don't put your whole portfolio into them. But what they've done is they've brought new people along, but they've also like I haven't just gone in like I have on Solana and there's $5,000 gone, see you later. Like which happens all the time. Or they launch and they get no marketing after day 3. Things like that. So that's what I've enjoyed about FTM memes. And I think as Sonic goes, I believe they'll launch round 3 and bang, we will probably have a meme season.
Yeah, well said. I think like the way that I kind of view the memes is it's a similar relationship to holding spot versus using leverage. I don't like it when people stop, buying spot and they're just going all in on leverage. It's not healthy for the market. It's not stable. Same as when I don't like people forgetting about the utility projects and the projects that are doing real things out there and they're going all in on memes, you know what I mean? So they definitely serve their purpose. It creates that community. It's fun. It's exciting. Creates a bit of hype, creates a bit of volume, trading, etc. But yeah, like I think, I don't like it when they just get a little bit too over the top, but it's always nice when you're writing it though.
It's always nice, but as you're saying there, like, and look, I didn't put it out on Twitter, but I nearly did for a moment. This was a while back. Is like the memes, like they're just so hard to pick, right? And FTM memes seem to be much easier to pick. By the way, the ones out on these other chains, like I was getting rugged left, right, and center, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I just want the ICO days or the days where you read a white paper, you read a set of docs, you found a high utility piece of a protocol, and you just went for it, right? And you could make these informed decisions. On a meme coin, you're like looking at a Twitter, how many fake followers they got, how many this, how many that. It's
a little bit. Going to find this funny? Are they not? Who knows? But yeah, exactly. So a bit of a gamble. But I guess what we both agree brings a bit of fun to crypto, and that's probably its place there. Going into a little bit more into Sonic and Equalizer, moving over, what is, there's a lot going on in terms of incentives being released. Do you want to talk to us? I think I messaged you about the gems that are going to be allocated. Is there anything more that you want to discuss on that? And what does that mean for Equalizer users as well?
Yeah, so effectively the Sonic Boom program is a large portion of the airdrop. Now, don't quote me if I'm not exactly right. I think it's about 190 million S tokens are allocated to this airdrop launch.
That's what I understood.
The 37.5%, I think I'm probably pretty close, is allocated to the Sonic Boom. Probably read that a few times.
Yeah.
And that's quite a large portion of these initial tokens that will go into the GEMS program. Now, these GEMS are to be used to incentivize users on the network. So I think it was the 30 protocols were going to be allocated, and there were some tier levels. Obviously, anyone that is launching a protocol should probably read into that, understand a little bit about how it works. But so effectively what they're going to do is they're going to incentivize people to then incentivize users on the network. And like, let's just think of it for a moment. I think the price as we jumped on was 66 cents or something, or 67 cents. And then let's say we've got almost 40% of those tokens. So my math's not going to be good here, but let's just say we've got 70 mil, right?
Right.
Plus that, At Aussie dollars, that's about 70 million Aussie dollars. But let's just say we're looking at 50 mil even.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of incentive. Plus, they got all the other airdrop to bring these users onto the network. So I'm really excited that it's going to help us like drive liquidity. It's going to help us drive education around our product, the utilization of our V NFTs, things like that. So from our perspective, we've got some creative ideas. I don't want to just drop them all exactly here, and they're not finalized either. But the way we will distribute will be fairly cool, I think.
Yep.
And we'll measure it as always. So what we normally do is we like to test and try little things and see what sticks.
Yeah,
and I think
good
that's
way
the
to
best
go.
way. Right?
Yeah, nice. Don't allocate it all to one little big incentive straight away. Maybe drip a little bit here, drip it here. Oh, that's working really well. Now we'll kind of expand on that. So, no, exciting to hear. I mean, everyone loves some more incentive being chucked in and some more yields to farm. So, just wanted to tap on that for our users. A lot of them are, farming, whether it be through VE and doing voting every week on the Equalizer platform, or Fantom and Equalizer, pairing them up. They're obviously using some of the other liquidity pools on the Equalizer exchange as well. But just wanted to get your opinion and what you do know about the gem. So well answered. Anything that you want to tap on? I've got a couple other questions, but anything that you want to share with the audience that you're excited about, or I'll hand it over to you for a second.
I think it's just the like our team is is a really hardworking team, and they all sort of pitch in and come together. We're almost like an all-rounder cricketer team, right? Like, I'm sorry to use the cricket analogies, and I'm not a huge cricket fan.
Neither, but
literally, these guys are like we're doing anything and everything, and we're always jumping from this idea to that idea, from development to that. So, I think from our internal perspective, we're really pushing. We know that the time to push is when the market is buoyant. We've worked so hard through the bear market to continue to build.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all that's going to come together for Sonic as well. So that's where I'm really excited. Like, new features, new marketing ideas. We've even just taken to the market with some more like video style. So I think from ours, and I'd love to get more education out. The moment I get a chance, I'll make some more educational videos, things like that. So I think just really the momentum that we have at the moment is almost its huge own internal flywheel.
Yeah.
That's what's exciting me the most, is that we've got so much momentum in the team that once we let that go, on top of the current flywheel with all the fees and everything like that, like, it's an exciting time, really.
No, that's awesome. And I'm really glad you mentioned education. Obviously, we're an education provider at heart. That's what we believe is so important. My famous line is, don't invest $1 into the market until you kind of know what you're doing, right? It's really good to see that you say that. On that education side, what kind of things do you think? Are you thinking more videos to come out? Are you, like more podcasts? Yeah, interested.
I want to simplify certain things and make it, I love our biggest medium to market is the Twitter feed. I think, a lot of people use that. We've found it to be where we get our most attention. And Twitter works really good on like shorter time frame videos as well. So I really want to, and we started doing things like that, but really make a series which shows people through certain things. I think it's been teased. I'll tease it anyway. So we've got we've done so much work in the background. We've got a new UI, things like that. And when that comes out, I want to utilize that to make that piece of content so that it's more relevant,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also very intuitive too. So I can walk it through and hopefully do like really quick minute videos. And even if it's not me doing it, maybe we do it through having someone build like really cool step-by-step videos that are 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So.
That's great. No, it's awesome. And credit to the team, because as I said, when I use Equalizer, it feels intuitive, and it's one of the hardest things. We've built our own platform as well, where our courses and all our trading and everything else is on there. But it's so hard to, you got to sit down and go, are people going to intuitively know where to click? And you guys have done a great job. So looking forward to that. And lean on us if you need any help with the education side. But on one of the final points that I wanted to ask you about is Andre obviously has mentioned, 4 or 5 primitives that he is bringing out with Sonic. Do you have any comments on those? Are you excited about them, or wait to see how they roll out?
Yeah, obviously, I think everyone's excited about, when Andre speaks, people listen, right? And the guy's known for his vision into the future of the most successful dexters out there on the networks now are his invention.
Hmm.
You've got Yearn5 before that. He's leading the Fantom team from the technical perspective, and really developed throughout this whole bear market to bring out a supersonic network.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think the thing I love about Andre is that he's going to find great ideas, right? And he's got these 5 primitives that he's going to release out into the wild. He's got a massive sort of audience, so people get excited about it. The thing I suppose the devil's in the detail, right? We need to see a bit more
For
about it,
sure.
and when they come out, I think he's going to release them on Sonic, which is going to be super bullish, going to bring a lot of attention again. The last time we released a product, which was the one that we forked solidly, effectively, I think the network volume, network TVL rose above 2 billion. So the guy knows how to bring people to a network. And I think he's learned a lot from some of the previous things. So I really like to see how he executes with teams and community building. Like I said, I'm a big believer that community is the strongest part of crypto in general. We wouldn't have Bitcoin if it didn't have the community behind it, right?
100%.
Like the US dollar has a community behind it. Like everything has a community behind it to give it the inherent value that people believe it has value, right? So I think once he gets all those things right, he's probably learned along the way, I think we're going to have a big boom there. So it'll
No,
be good.
100%. And I think like what you said there as well, he doesn't give too much detail. He's a bit of a master of marketing, makes you think about it, makes people talk about it, get involved with it. But there's a few, yeah, I think four of them have been released, like protection markets. One was LevX, FX swaps, and on-chain bureau. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll message you about them on the back end and release it to the community when we get more details about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that you want to finish up on, yeah, I'll hand it over to you. And yeah,
Yeah, well, let's just because I know your guys and you guys do a bit of like helping people with trading and stuff like that. And I suppose just to wrap up and nothing related to Sonic or Equal, I think this is the time, and this isn't financial advice, but for everyone sort of listening, I think now's the time to really get clever about your investments,
yep,
and to really have a strategy, right? Because this part of the market is there's so much noise. There's so many places to put your money, and there's going to be places that are going to give you much better returns than others and safer returns. So I think you want to get a balance right here. Like I'm sure you're doing it, I'm doing it. Most people that are a little bit more educated in this space are looking at, maybe a good DeFi project. Maybe, we'll try something there in the AI space or whatever, because we want to have a little allocation here, a bigger allocation there. We want to make sure we've got some Bitcoin behind us here, because if everything drops out and we're wrong, then we've got something to fall back on. It'll be the least affected asset. Time has proven that. Get yourself a bit of like Ethereum as well, and some nice layer one networks. I love the real yield narrative, which is equal.
yes,
So yeah, or V equal. So from my perspective, I think, guys, this is the time you want to be. You want to, turn off. Like, don't go out on a Friday night and have that extra drink with your mates.
yeah.
This is when you turn on the computer, do your research, and you'll be able to have 10 times more drinks because you have 10 times more money.
And maybe in a nicer place, on a boat or overseas or whatever it might be. But no, perfect way to summarize it and finish on, yeah, a really good note there. It is the lock-in time. For me, this time only comes around, well, for everyone, every 3-4 years. You know what I mean? So make the most of it. I think something that you mentioned in terms of what you want people to focus on is what's actually. I love plays that are making good yield. You know what I mean? So my play personally, and hence why I'm probably talking to yourself on the podcast, is I'm looking at Fantom as one of the biggest networks that is getting attraction right now. Sonic is about to launch. I love Fantom as a token, soon to be S on the Sonic, and I love Equalizer as one of the biggest dexes. So what do? I'm pairing both of those tokens in Equalizer at the moment and earning an extra 25% yield a year. I think one thing that people get sucked into in the DeFi world is they look at it the other way around. They'll go, oh, where can I earn 1,000% yield? And it's like, think about what tokens you want to hold first, and then where you can utilize that best and earn a yield from it. So that'd be the note that I would finish on, and I think similar to what you're saying there.
Oh, 100%. And like, I love like what you're saying there, a pairing of equal and FTM. It's like, you can't go wrong. From the chart, I'd say equal slightly outperforms FTM, maybe even hugely. But you still want to have FTM because it's the safeguard. And when you have those two paired, especially in a Uni V2 pool, they're effectively like, you can almost think of it as one asset. Because yes, there's IL, but I almost roll that completely out because I want to hold both those two tokens.
100%.
If the price goes down and we get hit, then the Fantom side is probably going to protect the equal side. And if it goes up, then yes, you won't get as much gain. But then you've got like this sort of hedge on the back that you're getting APR.
Yes.
So I really find it a bit of a, I think it's a hedged position, so to speak.
And I 100% agree. I think that it's been an issue in the DeFi world that IL, people think of it as, a bad thing. It's like, well, you can actually use it as a strategy to dollar cost in and dollar cost out and, protect yourself as well. So yes, you on paper might not end up with the best result, but that's like saying to people, oh, I didn't buy in at the very, very bottom of the market. You know what I mean? Like no one does that. It's always good in hindsight to say, oh, I would have been better off if XYZ happened, but that's not what you're doing when you're getting into a pair. You're actually creating a bit like you're reducing your risk in certain ways as well. So we teach all these things in our DeFi course too. Anyone that's watching, strongly recommend reaching out, whether it's us or anyone out there. Just get your education first. You'll be so much better off going in and form better strategies.
Yeah, 100%. It's education, guys. Like, you got to put the work in. I've had many businesses before with consulting and everything like that, and no matter what you tell people, like, you got to do it yourself, right? Like, it's so frustrating as educators. And what I love about educating in this space is if people don't want to turn on, then don't watch it. But you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Like, if you want to learn, you got to put the effort in, put some dollars down so that you're committed to it, and then do that education piece. Because if it's free education, which a lot of time I give away anyway, but like, you don't have any
There's
sort
no
of
psychological bearing. Yeah. I find it's so funny. Like the best example I can give, we sponsor our local football club, and I went there and talked to all these guys about DeFi and give them the free course, right? That's usually $2,500 or whatever it is. Give it to them. How many of them do you think completed it? There's no skin in the game. You never go at you. So as you say, it's better to get a little bit in, start playing around, get some skin in the game, and make the most of it. This doesn't come around very often. These bullish markets.
That's it. Only 1% of people are in that category, that fit the category, that want to go out there and make a difference, do something, improve their life. So look, you got to get in that 1% somehow, right? And that's, if you don't care about wealth and you don't care about your health and all that sort of stuff, don't worry about it. But educating yourself at every movement, it's not only on crypto, like your health,
everything. Yeah, it transpires. Blake, it's been awesome to have a chat. I can't believe it's been a year since the last time we had, and especially what we were saying before, how much has happened in that time. But we're going into a very, very exciting time in the market, both for Equalizer and Sonic, and just where the market is at. All the best to everyone, and reach out to either Blake or myself if you're looking for some more direction of how to best capitalize on this market.
And jump in our Discord if just like go to our Twitter, Equalizer. Jump in our Discord. That's where, like, you're going to learn heaps there too. So if you want to find us, that's where you should come. Jump in the Discord. Everyone's there, happy to help. We've got a huge community.
I'll pop it in the bottom of the YouTube as well, so it'll be in the description. Jump in the Discord there. I'll put your Twitter there as well, and or your X. And all the best for the market. Let's see where we're at in 3 or 6 months' time.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate it, mate. Good chat.
Pleasure, Blake. See ya.